Okay, today what we're going to be doing is we are going to walk you through how to set up the sweeper program on the WS6 Master. I've gotten a few people asking me to do this, so I wanted to do this for them because they're really wanting to set up the sweeper program, which is what a lot of people are using and are having great results with it. And we're real excited about all of the super finds and things that we're seeing from people that are using this program that we developed right after the update came out. So again, we're going to show you and walk you through how to set up the sweeper program on the WS6 Master. So again, we're going to power on our WS6 Master. We're going to go to program number 3, which is sensitive full tones. Y'all can see that down there at the bottom of the screen. And I apologize for the glare. Hopefully this is you're able to see what we're showing, and hopefully this helps. So what are you going to want to do to set up this program? Let's walk through step by step with the WS6 Master and setting up the sweeper program. Okay, so many of you are probably asking why the sensitive full tones program for the sweeper program. One thing that I have found with sensitive full tones is that it is the only program on this machine that will give you the correct ID when a target is mixed in iron. A lot of the other programs will flash up those 7, 8s, and 9s, but with the sensitive full tones program set up in this fashion, you can get a correct ID mixed in iron. Now, it's not always going to show up with the solid ID, but you will get a flash of it that will let you know, hey, there's something down there, you need to check this out. So this is why we use sensitive full tones. And once again, this is the only program on the XP Deus 2 that still has the original 1.0 filters. All the rest of the programs have 0.71 filters. So 1.0 just works really well for sensitive full tones. It cleans up that full tones audio, and it can help you in unmasking targets in iron. So that is why we use sensitive full tones. But let's walk through this on the WS6. So again, we're on sensitive full tones. You guys can see that here. We're going to press our menu button, which is in the bottom right hand corner, and we will see discrimination come up. And we're going to leave that discrimination at 6.8. We're also going to want to get into the sub-menus of the discrimination. So we're going to press and hold our menu button down till we get another set of menus that are going to come up. So we'll press and hold it, and we will see the tones are going to come up. And you have a couple of different selections here. You've got pitch, you've got 5 tones, 4 tones, 3 tones, 2 tones, and so on. So, but we're not going to want to use 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. We are going to want to use full tones. You can use your plus or minus to navigate through those tones, but we're going to use full tones. We're going to press our menu again. We're going to see the offset. The default offset is going to be 5. So we want the offset for full tones to be at 10. So we're going to press our plus button, and we're going to raise that up to 10. And that's what I think works really well for us. And this is what I've set up on the sweeper program, is the offset at 10. We're going to press our menu button again. We'll see bottle caps. We're going to leave that at 0. Press the menu button again, we'll see notch. We're just going to leave the notch at default at 2324. This was originally designed, I believe, for the guys over in Europe to get rid of Coke, but we're just going to leave that notch in. It's not going to hurt anything with it being a notch of 2324. So we're going to leave that in. Our silencer, it's by default set at 3, but we're not going to run at 3. We're going to bring the silencer down using our minus button. We're going to bring our silencer down to 1. If you really want to open up the machine, you could run it all the way down to 0. But 1 is what I would recommend. And then, you know, if you feel like you've exhausted using it at 1, then you can go back and set it down to 0. Press our menu button again, and we're right back where we started. So we're going to come out of this by pressing our cogwheel over here on the left-hand side. And that brings us back to the discrimination screen. So we're going to want to adjust a couple of other things though. We're going to press our menu button, again, the red circle with the 3 lines. And we're going to leave the sensitivity at 90 if you want to adjust it again, plus or minus. We're going to run our frequency max at 40. It tends to unmask better set at 40. It'll also help you find smaller targets, and it's very sensitive to brass and very sensitive to gold. So we run our frequency max at 40. Press our menu button again. You got the iron volume selection. You could run it at 7, which is the default, which is you're going to hear a good bit of iron. You can turn this down if you get tired of all the iron. That's totally up to you, but I tend to start off with it at 7 and then adjust accordingly as I go through with my plus and minus buttons. Press our menu button again. We're going to see our reactivity set at 3. I usually run the reactivity at 3, or I could run it at 2.5. Both of those are good reactivities to start off with. If it's really trashy, then you could bump it up by using your plus button to 4. And I think you can unmask some targets running it at a high reactivity of 4 as well. So again, adjust the reactivity accordingly, but generally I start off with 2.5 or 3 for the reactivity on the sweeper program. So we're going to press our menu button again. Our audio response is at 4 by default. That's where I leave it. And then of course you would do a ground balance. Couple of other things you're going to want to change. We're going to back out of the discrimination in the menu screen by pressing our cogwheel on the left hand side. A couple of other things that we would change. We would press our cogwheel. We would see the other menu screen, or the settings screen, and you see it's programs, pairing, settings, and then we're looking for audio. So we're going to adjust the audio. So how are we going to change the audio? Well, we're going to go to our cogwheel and we're going to select audio. And of course you can scroll through those different menus, but we're going to go to the audio screen and then we're going to hold down on it. Once we do that, audio filter is going to come up. And we're going to want to change the audio filter. I like to run with a little bit of audio filter, and I tend to run it at 1. So the audio filter I'm using is 1. The other setting, you would press the cogwheel again. There's your volume setting, so if you want to change the volume of the audio, you could do it that way. And we would press it again, and we would see audio type. I run PWM, but sometimes I will run high square. And the way you would change that is you would go over by pressing the plus button. And you see you have high square, you have PWM, and you have square. So I like high square too. It's a little longer tone, a little more pleasant to listen to sometimes. But I run PWM a lot of times too as well, because that's what I'm used to, because I used pitch for so long, and PWM sort of sounds like pitch. But that's something that you guys are going to have to decide based on your audio preference. But either high square or PWM I tend to lean towards, and square sounds really good too. So select the audio that you like and what works great for your ears, and that's where I would go with that. Okay, now that we've got everything set up, we want to back out. And now we have our program set. If you wanted to save this program, you would go back to this bottom button that you see here, the little cogwheel, and we would hold that down or press it, and then you're going to see audio come up, and then you would press it again. And you would see program. So if you wanted to save these settings, then all you have to do is long press, and it comes up with save on the screen. If you want to save that program, you would press the cogwheel again. You would long press it, and now it's saved. And you'll notice that there is a little man beside your 3, letting you know that this is a program that you have saved on sensitive full tones. So now you have a saved program on your WS6, and everything should be the same. You can go back and check it, and you should be good to go. And now you have your program saved on sensitive full tones, and you have the sweeper program. Okay, I hope that helps someone. Again, thank you for the subscribers and followers who mentioned this to me, that they wanted to see this on the WS6. And I hope everyone goes out and finds some great treasures with it. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. We will catch you guys real soon.